A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, thank you. You can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. If you're not a citizen of the United States, pleading today could affect your immigration status. If you're on probation or parole, I need to know that because pleading today could affect your status on probation or parole. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If you're sentenced today on a criminal charge, you need to go to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. The least the mandatory cost can be is $273. And that's in addition to whatever we do here. Justin Haddocks. Mr. Haddocks, you are charged with leaving the scene without giving information. You had a valid driver's license. You were charged with being responsible for a crash, and you didn't stay around to talk to the police. It says leaving the scene of an accident with property damage and nothing. I have nothing except for the citation. This says it was at Main and Page in Lady Lake. You don't have to answer this, and anything you say can and will be used against you, and we are being tape recorded. What property damage?
There was a trash can on the curb. I was leaving work. The roads were wet. My car hydroplaned. My two front tires were very bald. It went to the curb. I didn't think it was really an accident because it wasn't involved with anybody else. The car was in my father's name.
How much damage to the garbage can?
It was just a basic trash can, but they said $150 property damage is what the ticket says.
All right, and you didn't call law enforcement and tell them that you damaged the garbage can? And
No. My father had AAA, and the car was in my father's name. So,
what does AAA have to do with it? The car was drivable, wasn't it?
No, my tire rod busted when I
hit the curb.
Slid into the curb, yes, ma'am.
You should never drive a vehicle with bald tires. Never, ever, ever. If you hydroplane because you have bald tires, that's your fault.
Yes, ma'am.
And if somebody had been killed, it would have been your fault. So thank goodness it was only a garbage can.
Yes, ma'am.
But we need more information. The officers did not give me information. So I think you're going to have to say not guilty at this point. And is it a problem for you to get here to court?
No, my father couldn't bring me.
If you want to, I'll give you a phone number and you can call in next time. You'll have to come in person the time after that, but if you want to call in next time to find out if the state's going forward with this or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're present, you're saying not guilty, and plea negotiation and sentencing. You may call in. All right, Ms. Angie, could you put the court dates on here? All right, we'll give you the court dates. Have a seat, and we'll get you your paperwork in just a moment. Mr. Tarver, thank you for coming right up. I need a moment to read your letter. Are you senior or?
Yes, ma'am, I'm senior.
But this says it's Ronald Tarver Jr. who was charged.
Correct. He's in college, and the day is his last day of his finals. His probation officer gave him permission to go and to be there. The reason we're here is because I didn't pay his fines. I had agreed to pay him.
So you want me to continue his
Yes.
court date for how long?
He come home the weekend.
This weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll just continue it till next week?
Yes.
And by next week, everything will be finished?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan to me. Defendants, father only.
Your Honor.
Let me write it before I forget. So it's continued to arraignment next week.
Next week would be 5/8.
May 8th, 2013 at 8 a.m. Yes, sir?
It's because I didn't pay the $350 fine. If I pay the fine, at least the other come in?
He needs to come so we can close it out here. He owes $350 supervision fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and $3.50 insurance fee. No fine.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Wait for your paperwork. Gary Regatz. Okay, Mr. Regatz, you are charged with attaching a tag not assigned and no motor vehicle registration. Where did you get the vehicle?
It's a trailer, ma'am.
Yes, sir?
No, I put the tag on the trailer, sorry.
He's getting ahead of me. It is a trailer. It's a 7 by 20-foot trailer. I live in a
Does it
subdivision.
have a valid tag now?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
it's our policy to dismiss it when it's a trailer tag and you fix it. Could you show the state, please? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this gentleman here, whose name is
Gary Capon.
saying he's the one who put the tag on it to start with. So either which way, we would need to drop it. But you're announcing no information on both counts?
No motor vehicle registration. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the defendant is present. The state is announcing a no information on counts 1 and 2. Okay, we'll get your paperwork in just a moment. Thank you for
ma'am.
joining us. Brandi McManus. Ms. McManus, you are charged with driving while license suspended. Your license was suspended for not paying a ticket. Have you gotten your license back now?
Not yet. My husband just got released from the hospital, and I thought he had paid it, and then I got put into the hospital also.
Possession of paraphernalia and methamphetamine.
That was something else, yes. I
Not,
just got put on PTI. I have to go today to go see the probation officer.
you were on PTI for the felony?
They just put me on Monday, and I go meet him today because I got transferred to Bunnell.
Could I have her Lake County ticket, please, McCostlin? Thank you. You got a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt.
And I thought my husband paid it, and we miscommunicated. And
They sent a letter to you in.
I never received that letter, Your Honor, because my landlord was getting my mail at the time.
Watson Drive.
Yes, but it went to my landlord's address, and he was supposed to walk over our mail, and I got it maybe once a month. And I still haven't received all our mail from there.
So that's the correct address.
Yes, it was at the time.
It doesn't have an apartment number. So now you've moved?
Yes,
Have you changed your address with the driver's license department?
not yet, because we just moved.
So we'll clear this up, and you can go to the driver's license department today, and you have to reinstate and get your driver's license, but you do not have to pay the seatbelt ticket.
Oh, thank you.
It's my policy on a first seatbelt to withhold and waive the fine.
Thank you so much.
And if she gets a valid driver's license, you're willing to change it to a civil?
She has no priors, Your Honor?
This printout shows no priors.
Okay.
Have you gotten any other driving while license suspended
No,
in the
ma'am.
last few months?
Never.
Okay. If you get no new law violations between now and next month, you can go to the traffic window and take care of this driving while license suspended. We'll make it a civil. It'll be $210, 6 months to pay if you bring them a valid driver's license by next month.
Okay.
So continue.
All right, Ms. Angie, and no new law violations. All right, we're going to give her a clearance on this one, and you should be able to go get a valid driver's license today.
Do I have to show him proof of anything?
Proof that I'm
Okay.
giving you now. Plus, unless you had a star on your driver's license, you need your birth certificate, your social security card.
I already went through all that when I just got it renewed, so don't they keep that on file? I have it all anyways.
If you had a star on your license, then they have it.
Yes.
If you don't, then you have to bring it again.
Okay.
And it should cost you maybe $80 because you need a new card and you have to pay a reinstatement fee.
Okay.
William Clay, you are charged with driving while license suspended. You were suspended for not completing driving class. BDI stands for what? Okay, not an alcohol related. And you've been suspended for 2 years. You've never had a license, it was only a learner's permit.
Yes.
So you know perfectly well you're not allowed to drive.
Oh, I
Have you
have.
gotten your valid license now?
I'm from Arizona. I have an Arizona license. I've always had an Arizona license.
But you don't live in Arizona. You live in Florida.
I go to school at University of Florida.
Okay, so your resident, your permanent address is in Arizona.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the address on that?
Arizona. But
Why did you have a Florida a learner's permit?
my father lived in Arizona, or lived in Tampa, Florida when I was growing up, and when I was 15, I came and visited him, and he took me to get a learner's permit.
Okay, you cannot drive in Florida because you got suspended for not completing the basic driving class 2 years ago. So it doesn't matter what you can do in Arizona, you cannot drive in Florida because you never completed the basic driving class. So you have to fix your Florida record before you can drive in Florida.
Okay. Was it because of these 2 tickets? Because I know I paid these 2 tickets off. Or is it just because of the
It
class?
doesn't say you owe any money on any tickets.
Okay.
It says you did not complete the basic driver, BDI, basic driving improvement class.
How do I go about that?
It doesn't say. All his tickets are from Alachua, so I would assume it's Alachua. And then I had to call her about someone else's also. Okay, defendant must provide proof of clearing Florida DL. And Eliana Trinidad to the microphone, please. Ms. Trinidad, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Last time you were here, I told you when you came back to be here at 8. Why were you late?
I was getting my license.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, it's literally hot off the press. Could you show the prosecutor?
Yeah, today.
All right, I specifically wrote, you made her no promises. She had, her license was, she got an ID back in December, so she knew she wasn't supposed to drive. She was suspended for 2 years for controlled substance. That's always jail time. And she owed for 5 tickets. And she didn't have insurance. So, since she was last here about a month ago, less than that, 3 weeks ago, she took care of all her tickets, she took care of her insurance, she had to have finished the substance abuse already and just hadn't brought the proof. So she has done more than anybody I've seen in a month's time in less than a month, to fix everything. So, but she was suspended for a zillion reasons, and shame on her. But it was her first Willis. So I keep going back and forth. It was her first Willis, so we give her a break. But she was suspended for the controlled substance stuff. But she had finished the class, just hadn't brought in the proof.
Okay.
So I'm willing to say no jail, but I'm not sure I would go as far as to recommend a civil.
Okay.
Because there's just too much.
Would she be habitualized?
No, this is her first.
Okay, then,
So you're okay with no jail. All right, Miss Trinidad, you'll be the only person that I can remember that I didn't send to jail who was suspended for controlled substance suspension.
Thank you.
Well, you've also done more work than anybody I've seen in a long time. I don't know how you did it. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a server at Bahama Breeze.
Okay, what city?
Kissimmee.
Okay, you may want to talk to some attorney's offices in the area because some of the traffic attorneys could use your help clearing up other people's records like this. That would be a career you could have working in an attorney's office, helping them clear up people's driving records. I'm not exaggerating when I say you're like 1 in a million.
Wow.
That you did this all by yourself. It's fabulous.
Thank you.
So if I were in your shoes, how far did you get in school?
I graduated and I took a technical school for patient care technician.
Well, if you enjoy being a server, that's fabulous. The food at that restaurant is incredible. If you want to get a different career, then you may want to look into working at a law firm since you're very good at doing this. All right, it's not going to be jail time. You're present. You enter a no contest plea. I find you guilty. You get 3 of these in a 5-year period. You lose your license for 5 years.
Yes, I understand.
I am going to force you to go for a job interview because I think it could be a very good thing and I think you may put it off.
Okay.
So instead of a fine, I'm going to order you to provide proof of an interview with a traffic law firm.
Okay, I could do that.
So instead of paying the $200 fine, you're going to have to give your probation officer proof that you interviewed with a traffic law firm.
Now, I'm not on probation, so who do I give the proof to?
You will be on probation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's 6 months probation, early term after you bring us proof of an interview with a traffic law firm.
Okay.
They might not hire you, you may hate it, but it just may be the magic that opens up your future.
Okay,
Because this was
thank you.
pretty special what you accomplished.
Thank you.
Right, and you have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan, and it's at least $273 plus the extra costs for being on the payment plan.
Okay.
She needs to be printed, and I advised her of 3 within 5 years, and I'm not, could you find that, please? You probably highlighted it, and that's why I'm not seeing it. She needs to be printed. Kenneth Prince, how come you were late today?
Because I was waiting on my ride. I couldn't drive. My ride had got in there a little bit late.
Well, that's a good thing you weren't driving because your license is suspended.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the one who said you weren't driving?
Ma'am?
You have an order of commitment.
Yes, ma'am. The first one is you told me the reason why you let me go is because you told me to get a lawyer and stuff because I got a lawyer. I got Mr. Fennel. He represent me for my first case.
All right, then you're going to enter a not guilty plea right now, and is
Yes,
Mr. Fanto going to represent you on the second one?
No, I was supposed to get the PD. He want to. I wanted to see because you said you were going to talk to me today about the second one because I wasn't driving without suspended license because I had my citation.
Okay, But this says you got a new DUI.
On a second DUI, I had got a DUI because of the driving while license suspended, and I got unlawfully stopped because of my tags had my license suspended.
So Mr. Fantle is not representing you on the new one. You need the public defender.
Yes, ma'am.
But Mr. Fantle is going to represent you on the first one?
Yes, ma'am.
On the trespass?
No, on the original DUI on March 30th.
I don't know if you remember him.
Just vaguely. Mr. Fantle's going to represent you on the first DUI,
Yes, ma'am.
but you need the public defender on the second DUI.
Not really. I just wanted to see what, I only came with using the public defender to see what you say because Mr. Fennel want to represent me on both DUIs.
Well, then we need to let Mr. Fantle represent you on both.
Already.
So not the public defender.
Already, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're going to secure your own attorney. Do you have Mr. Fantle's number?
I don't have it. I had just talked to him, and I'm going over there as soon as I leave
Could you
here.
give me Mr. Fantle's number, please?
As soon as I leave over here, I'm
Okay,
going to.
Mr. Prince, I have the paperwork here to send you to jail for violating your order of commitment. I said no new law violations. I didn't issue it last time because I had some questions. So I'm not going to issue it this time, but I may issue it at some point over the next month or so. So you need to be sure to talk to Mr. Fantle, and we're going to try to call him and give him a heads up. All right, have a seat, and we'll get to your paperwork. And if you get in any more trouble, that's just going to push me over the edge to sign. I've got 3 troubles right here. That's more than most people. And if I get another one between now and the next court date, I'm signing all of this and you're going to jail, no bond. All right, Nicholas Bradway to the microphone, please. Excuse me. Thank you. Ms. Vapola, do you have an offer for Mr. Bradway?
Yes, Your Honor. As of right now, it is an adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation. With early term upon a $200 fine, unless Mr. Bradway, does he have a license or?
He's suspended for not paying child support and for not paying a Lake County ticket from 2009. Not paying child support, not paying the payment plan, not paying the payment plan, not paying the payment plan. He has 2 priors, but they're both outside the 5-year period. All right, Ms. Papula, could you say it again, please?
Well, were those priors on the same suspension? I don't believe they
I don't think so.
were.
The 2 priors were 2000 and 2003, and the first suspension was in 2009.
Okay, so then yes, it would be an adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation with early termination upon a $200 fine.
If you get 3 driving while license suspended in a 5-year period, Tallahassee takes your license for 5 years. But your 2 were more than 5 years ago. Do we have a deal?
Been about 10 years. I have a question for you, Ms. Miller. If I were to take jail time, how long would I have to do?
5 days, and then the mandatory costs, you'd have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan.
Now, I have one more question for you. Now, if I were to take the 5 days, I own my own business. Now, would I be able to get a little bit of time to straighten some stuff out before I turn myself in to go to jail?
Yes, but why would you rather go to jail than pay a fine?
I was just curious.
I'm just curious. Why would you rather go to jail than pay a fine?
I'm not saying I really would. It's just a $200 fine. I was just,
All right, which...
weighing my pros and cons at this point.
You want 5 days in jail or a $200 fine?
I guess I'll take the $200 fine.
You're present. You waive an attorney. You plead no contest. I find you guilty. I put you on 6 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you pay a $200 fine and no new law violations. Was there anything else? Ms. Papula, that's it?
No, Your Honor, sorry.
And then you have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan. That's whether you go to jail or you don't go to jail, you still owe the payment plan. Okay, Mr. Bradway, you have possession of paraphernalia that's set for next week. Do you want to go ahead and take care of that today?
What's the offer on it?
That would be 6 months concurrent probation. Let me see what kind of drugs we're talking about. Drug evaluation, any treatment recommended, and 2 random screens. Concurrent probation, it'd be the same probation, you're paying for it anyway, you'd get a twofer.
What is it now? I'd have to take 2 drug screens.
You would have 1 drug screen. You would have to have a drug evaluation and any treatment.
Through Western Judicial?
Yes, I believe they do it. Or live stream, or Court Educational, or any of the other places.
On the paraphernalia, Judge Miller, I was actually kind of wanting to take that to trial.
If you want to enter a not guilty plea, you can. You're going to be in court next week on May the 8th. Arraignments, that's on the arraignment docket? Okay, so.
Well, is it possible then, can we revoke his bond then? Oh, but he's pleading to the, okay. Okay.
All right, you're going to enter a not guilty plea on the paraphernalia.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to afford a private attorney, or do you need the public defender?
I'm
or do you
a
want
public defender right now.
You want the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're present. You're maintaining your not guilty plea. I'll appoint the public defender. You do not have court anymore now next week. And Mr. Rogers is right there. Sit down and have a talk with him. But you are sentenced on the other charge, which is the driving while license suspended.
$200 fine. Okay.
And so you're going to report to probation when you leave here and go to room 105 when you leave here.
Yes, ma'am.
Brandi Moss to the microphone, please. Okay, Miss Moss, we meet again. You living in Leesburg or Eustis?
Leesburg.
Okay.
Behind all these in a tent. Me and my boyfriend went to jail the same day, and my dog went to jail. I wanted to thank you for calling the pound.
So you got your dog back?
Did. I got my dog back, thank you.
I remember now, you said you need to get out by 2 o'clock to panhandle enough money to
get food,
to eat.
And I still got to do that again today. I'm really hungry.
So why don't you get a job?
I just got my ID. I've been trying to find a job. Most applicants are done online now, and I don't have a computer.
But you can go to the library.
I don't even know where the library is in Leesburg.
The library is on Main Street.
Where is Main Street?
Downtown Leesburg.
Okay, that's a long walk. Okay, I got to figure it out. But I've been applying for jobs and stuff. I went up and talked to Denny's and Circle K and a couple places like that, but
so is this the same charge you were here for last time, or this is another one?
I have to come again in 4 days for the paraphernalia charge. This is for the trespassing.
You have a paraphernalia.
My sentencing.
All right, and you have a public defender for that?
Yeah, but I wasn't able to talk to him.
Okay, we're gonna make the appoint the public defender on this one also. Okay, so you need to be back here Friday.
Okay.
Mr. Rogers, could you please make a note that we're adding this new charge of trespass for Mr. Vasti to work out on Friday?
Yes.
I said I can catch the bus if I need to. I can call my mom if I need to.
Well, your call if you want to go talk to the public defender. If you can be back here on Friday, then we'll work out both cases.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back on Friday.
All right? Yes?
You need to give her a bus ticket. We have some bus tickets, so she can use to ride that all day today.
Well, you go, girl. Yay. Okay, so then you can go to the public defender now while you're here and talk to him. And then we'll give you a bus ticket. And then you'll be back on Friday. And maybe you could give her a bus ticket for Friday? Great.